Hello, Gun Nation. It says we are live. So we will get into it. I've got some questions that I've received, and of course, if y'all have any, please let it be known. I'll do a quick roll call. Got Ron Hunt, Mike High. Let's see here. Let me clear this off real quick. Got Mike High, Floridian, Dennis, Pistol Pete, Guy Comet, Lynn Holt, Indy Irish. Hello, everyone. I'm sure more people will be jumping in here. I do have two new items I'm going to be showing here that I can show. So I'm going to I've had them for a while. I haven't done full blown testing on them, but I have been testing it a little bit. So I'll kind of give some hints, but I'll have some full reviews on them soon. Hello, A-Dubs, MZ, Clyde Cumberland. How are y'all? Milkman, KO4S4. How are you? But we will be getting into it. So, do y'all have any quick questions or anything that's going on in the news or anything that you want to discuss before we get into some of these questions that I have? And I have some that I'm going to be asking y'all also. Sorry, I'm looking like a hippie. I'm letting my hair grow out. Hello, Shooting Uncle Dan. How are you, man? Hope you are doing well. Let's see here. I saw where Biden put Michael Bloomberg in the Department of Defense. He put 100,000 or what is it, $100 million towards Joe Biden getting elected. Oh my God, does not surprise me. Does not surprise me. How do I feel about AOC turning Texas blue? She's an idiot. Francis is an idiot. We've been teetering, with purple, as they've been saying, because, we do have a bunch of Californias moving here, New York moving here. So, I don't mind them moving here as long as they believe in what we believe in, but, a lot of them don't. So, and of course, the Hispanics, some of them just have different beliefs. So it is what it is. So, and of course, all the illegals that are coming over, Joe Biden letting them over. He's looking for those votes too. Yeah, and I called this from day one. I said if he ever comes back, whoops, hang on a second. Pistol Pete, I basically said if he ever comes back and tries to run for something, he's going to flip flop, and that's exactly what he's doing now. I think I even called it like a year or so ago when he was trying to do this, running for governor or running for against Ted Cruz. I said he's going to come back and flip flop and run for something else. So that's exactly what he's doing. He's just telling people what they want to hear. But I tell you what, if he ever gets in, he is going to try to pull everything. So people need to remember that because it is going to happen. Let's see here. What are your thoughts about all the Glock selector switches being used by criminals? My neighbor showed me a video from Philly, crazy 50 rounds in a second, Glock 17, maybe a polymer 80 build. I haven't seen a lot of those. So I really, can't comment on them. I've never seen any. I mean, of course, I've shot the Glock 18, which is the fully auto Glock. Now, of course, it wasn't mine. It was the gun store's, but I was able to shoot it. And it is what it is. But there's ways to rig anything to make it do what you want it to do. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. But, I haven't seen that personal video, so I don't know. But I mean, hell, there's criminals running around with full auto AKs, etc. So, I mean, nothing surprises me. I honestly feel that a lot of those come from the cartel too. Wish AOC would go back work at Hooters. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Oh, Milkman picked up a Staccato C last Friday, new carry gun. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. I've been setting up my prep supplies this week. Could you walk us through some of your buy out essentials? It's probably bug out essentials. Um, yeah, I've talked about it in other lives, but like in my go bags, I've got knives, mags, ammo, um, the big thick food bars, where they're real thick. Um, I've got, of course, some water in the smaller bags. When the time comes, I'll throw firearms in there too. Um, I've got a headlamp, and a lot of people say, "Why do you have a headlamp?" And I've got regular flashlights, the small ones, but a headlamp in case I need my hands. I can snap that on my head and go to work if I need to. Um, let's see here. Trying to think if there's anything else. One of them, I've got a small hatchet and a small shovel. I've got tarp. I've got a warming blanket. Of course, I've got tourniquets, um, Cat sevens. I've got gauze and the basic stuff. I don't have any like chest seals or anything like that. Um, there's probably more stuff in there. I've never really done a full bug out bag video. I mean, maybe I'll do that sometime. Hello, Chris Davis. How are you? Let's see here. Sorry, let me catch back up here. Looks like I'm way behind. Yeah, also San Antonio too. Um, Austin used to be hardcore back in the day of Republican, but that's way behind the curve. That has been way downhill. Hello, Tactical Firearms. How are you, man? If you're stocking up on anything, Clyde, what I would recommend is mags. Especially if you're in a free state, because that's probably what they're going to go after. If you don't have a lot of AR mags, 300 black, of course, you can use your 300 blackout for that. AR-10 mags. Um, I would definitely look at stuff like that to load up on. Hello, CZ Shadow 2. More concerned with Amish farmers. Yeah, exactly. I would definitely agree with that, Richard. They're spraying and praying. And that's even a lot of people, unless you've got a really good grip and you're anchoring yourself. Um, I've seen people shoot full autos, at Texas Gun Experience, and they're just walking it right up the ceiling. I mean, you gotta kind of got to know what you're doing before you do it. Just got home from the store. My MPA DS9 is home now. Awesome, man. What do you think about it? Let me know what you think about it. I don't know if you've shot it yet. I'm just curious. Ordered a Steiner MPS closed emitter dot to switch out my RMR on my C2. Awesome, man. I played around with one of the Steiners, in the store. It wasn't on a gun, but I played around with it. It's actually a really crisp dot. Um, Looked really nice. So definitely interesting. I really do want to get the Acro P2, and I mean, I'm interested in the Steiner too. I probably should have bought it that day. Hello, Wield and Weld Arm. How are you, sir? Yeah, in a lot of areas, they're just letting them walk free for whatever they do. Hello, James Johnson. How are you, man? Um, what's next? Pistol, rifle, Big J? Man, to be honest with you, there's nothing out there that's really exciting me that I don't already have. Um, and that was one of the questions too. Why don't I review budget guns? That came up that's actually came up twice within the last week. Since I did the AR-15 video and the AR-10 video, I've had that question. Why don't I do budget firearms that people can afford? Um, I'm not hating on anyone. I'm just not a budget guy. I mean, I've got some, basic like Glock 19X, but of course I customized it. CZP-10Cs, things like that. Kind of the, plastic fantastic guns. Nothing's wrong with them. It's just, that's not my gig, man. I don't buy guns just to do YouTube videos on. I know a lot of people do that. They'll buy them, do the videos, sell them, keep some of them. I'm just not into that. So right now, there's really nothing exciting that's really got me wanting to get it, honestly. So I'm perfectly happy and content with everything I have now. Not saying that won't change. Just right now, it's just not. I love full auto, but to be honest, it has no purpose for me. Give me a MCM 3.5 single stage trigger, and I can deal out the death. I mean, I agree with you, Uncle Dan. I mean, fully auto is cool sometimes, if you're just going somewhere to try it, but it really doesn't do anything for me. The binary triggers, I think they're a joke, where you're firing forward, firing backwards. And us that have been around for a long time, you can use a stick or a belt loop, if you really want to do that. So it's kind of more show, I guess, but really didn't do anything for me either. Acro P2 looks well built as well. I like to compare it to the Steiner MPS. Yeah, I mean, I think those are, with the enclosed emitters, I think that's going to be a really hot thing. And I've always wanted to play around with them. I know that Holosun has the 509. I've never had a 509, so I don't know. I kind of looked through one and the glass wasn't that great, so I didn't get it. But, there you go. Let's see here. Yeah, it's hard to just buy any gun anymore. Once you shoot quality firearms, it's hard to go backwards, Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm not, like I said, I'm not hating on anyone. There's a lot of great guns out there that are inexpensive that work very, very well. They're just not my bag. I mean, I've been shooting and carrying so long. It's kind of like I've been there and done that, got a hat and a t-shirt. So, to turn around and buy something with a subpar trigger, some subpar sights, maybe subpar magazines. It's just not anything that I want to do. It's not my deal. And again, I don't buy stuff just to do videos. I will not do that. I don't buy the next greatest and latest supposed wonder pistol that comes out. Let's see here. Yeah, because I get a lot of hate for some of these guns. That's too expensive. That's not a working, what do they say? That's not a working man's gun or an average working man's gun. That's not this, that's not that. I mean, but it's what I like, so I don't really care. I did want y'all's opinion on something, and then I'll give my opinion. But what do you think the best length for a do-it-all AR-15 rifle or 300 blackout or whatever it might be? But what do you think the best length for a do-it-all rifle is? I want to get y'all's opinion. I'm totally getting more into surplus before it totally dries up. Yeah, I mean, if that's what you're into, and I've got older rifles, I've got some older pistols. I wouldn't say, well, actually, two of them are surplus, I guess you could say. but I don't really sought them out or, try to grab them and things like that. But, you know, it is what it is. Whatever you like, man, go for it. The guns at cheap ammo gets expensive. I mean, ammo is not cheap. That's why I was telling everybody years and years and years ago, if you followed me, load up on ammo because there's going to be a day where it's going to cost you out the butt or you can't get it. What happened? I still buy it occasionally if it's a really good deal, but I'm still shooting ammo that I've had for shit 10 years. I load up. Hello, DC. How are you, man? Okay. Doesn't rifle need to be 16? Well, it could be PDW, it could be SBR, it could be a pistol, whatever you think. So, yeah, I guess I should have rephrased that. Just what's your favorite length? Clyde is saying 16 and 7.5. Okay, there you go. Pistol Pete like 16s or 20s. There you go. Anybody else got anything? Okay, here we go. Richard has 10 and a half and 16. All right. I've got 10 and a halves. Of course, I've got 16s. I've got 18s. I don't have any 20s. I don't really like the really, really long ones. I mean, I've got some 20-inch hunting rifles, but not AR platforms. But my favorite is a 12 and a half. I've had a lot of people ask me, like, what's your preferred, blah, 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 this or blah, 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 that. I really like 12 and a halves because you're not losing that much velocity and you're also getting really good dwell time over a 10 and a half. The minimum on an AR-15 that I would ever use would be a 10 and a half. I personally wouldn't go below that just due to the dwell time. But, I know on 300 blackouts, a lot of people really go small and things like that. But, my 300 blackout, I've got 10 and a half and 12 and a half. And I prefer that because usually the shorter they are, the smaller the handguard is. And that's kind of an issue for me personally. I like to stretch my arm out a little bit, but I just really like 12 and a half. I like the ballistics on it. I like the way it feels. I like the recoil. Not that there's really any recoil, but it just is comfortable for me. But that's what I like. Okay. Uncle Dan is 11 and a half for 300 black, 762 by 39, 7 and 8 inches in my opinion. Okay, cool. Hello, Two Will and Nut. How are you? For me, 16-inch AR built lightweight, but I do like my 10 and a half barrels as well. 14 and a half to 16 for A-dubs. KO4 is 18, AR-10, 308, collapsible stock. Picked up a PSA 11 and a half AR, awesome shooter. Yeah, I was going to say bolt gun 26 on a 338 Lapua. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a big boy. 16 so I can add a comp of choice without a government tax. Okay, there you go. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Is that FTLAUD 911? Glad to have you here. And a lot of people will say, oh, I've got to have a really, really short rifle, to maneuver around my house. I mean, you can take a 16-inch. You can actually pull it up over your shoulder. You can still look through your red dot. So you could really pull it in if need be. And it doesn't have any recoil. So it's not going to matter if it's not even on your shoulder, for defensive purposes. But, or you can have low ready, high ready, whatever you want, still get around your house. But I just really like 12 and a halves for kind of a do-it-all. Will and Will Arm is saying 10 to 12 on most AR pistols. Okay. All right. Question. Should hit the fan gun, AK or AR platform? For me, definitely AR platform. I mean, you're going to find tons of AR-15 mags, which you can use for 300 blackout on most of them, unless you're running a lot of subs. But definitely AR platform. I think that's going to be dominant. I know a lot of people do run AKs, but I just think that AR is going to be a dominant platform, especially in today's world. Friday, I built a 5-inch 5.56. I know what you're all thinking. What the hell? No, man. I mean, it's whatever you want to do. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Glad to have you here. Guy comments saying AR, Two Willing Nuts, AR, James Johnson's AR, Shooting Uncle Dan, AR. Floridian is saying 223 preferred over 5.56. And I would agree with you on that. If you're dealing with a 5.56/223, I would prefer 223 also because of your ammo choices. Nothing wrong with 5.56, but 223 does give you a better selection. So I agree with that. Let's see here. We've got Will and Will Arms saying AR, I sold my AK. AR, tons of parts. AR, because it's proliferate in the US. Yes, correct. AR. I haven't seen an AK yet. That's funny. I thought that I would see at least someone that loves AK. 223 Wild. Yep, I've got a bunch of those. Has to be an AR. Pistol Pete saying, yeah. And that brings up another question that I have. And I've got these written down, so I'm not making them up. And I want to hear this from y'all. What is your most boring caliber? The most boring caliber to you? It could be 22, 12 gauge, 5.56, 223, 300 blackout, whatever, 308, 6.5. What is your most boring caliber? Okay. You were AR, but your Russian friends converted you to an AK. Cool. I mean, they both work. It's just whatever you like. If I was shooting an AK though, I would definitely want a rail on it. I've used the AK sights before. Not saying they're bad, but I would definitely want the pick rail on there. Okay, here we go. Wow. 25 ACP. Okay. Lynn Holt saying 12 gauge. AR-47, more or less for me. AR in 62 by 39, not boring. That's my favorite. Gotcha. Floridian is saying 380. 9mm is good if you want to unload your mag on a single criminal. Then what? 10mm defensive ammo is better if there are multiple. You never know the scenario. Okay. 22 LR, but still love it. Uncle Dan saying 380 bores me. Clyde is saying 40 Smith & Wesson. Okay. Guy comments 380. A-dubs is 22 short. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to get a lot of hate, so get ready. Y'all might hate on me. The most boring caliber to me, I'll tell you what, I'll let y'all guess. What do you think the most boring caliber is to me? Just boring, like I would rather shoot something else, meaning like not, like the 25 ACP. It's like, hell, I didn't know anybody that shoots that anymore. And I still have some 25 ACP ammo, but I don't even have a 25 ACP gun. 45 gap. I got a buddy that still has that gun, but he has a hard time finding ammo. Richard, there you go, buddy. 30 super carry. Richard, there you go. Okay. 357 and 10mm is favorite. 9mm is boring, but it's what I carry. Okay. Guy comments got 9mm also. Nine millimeter, 22. Okay, Steve L has just guessed it. The most boring to me is 223 5.56. It's freaking boring. Now, does it work? Do I have a lot of it? Do I have a lot of guns in it? Yes. Or rifles or PDWs, whatever you want to call them. But it's just boring. I, honestly, I really, and I've said this before, I mean, I'll shoot 5.56, 223, but it's just not fun. And it leaves little bitty holes unless you're getting it a 77 grain or something like that. It's just not my go-to round, even with a rifle or a PDW. I much prefer, and I've said this before, I much prefer 300 blackout or 308. That's what I prefer. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you can't wag around to 308. Yeah, I can. I have a 12.5 308. So, and it's very light. So, and I have a lot of 300 blackout. I have, some shorty 5.56 223s, but they're just boring. So, that's what I got. So, I'm sure I'm going to get some hate over that. But yeah, Pistol Pete guessed it then. Also, but it's just, I mean, it does it, but it is what it is. And what's really funny is I actually really like 22. It's 22 is more fun to me than 5.56 223. 10 millimeter is not as fun to shoot as 9 millimeter unless you have a lot of watermelons. Yeah. 5.56 is great for prairie dogs and coyote. Other than that, not so much. And that's my opinion too. I mean, you can take out, I don't even like shooting pigs with 5.56. I know people do it, but I don't like it. And, I want to drop their ass. So I want to pop them with a 308 or a 300 blackout, of course, at close range. But I'm just not a 5.56 223 guy. I still have tons of the ammo, still have the rifles, PDWs, things like that. But it's just not. It's just boring. It's just like pink, pink, pink. You know, And nowadays it's not super cheap like it used to be back in the day, or cheaper. Yeah, I like shooting 10 millimeter, but it ain't cheap. That's true. 30 Super Carry. What's the estimates time before it's canceled? I already said that a long time ago. It's going to be like 224 Valkyrie. It'll probably have its little niche for less than 8 months. Once it gets really, really out there, probably 8 months to a year, and people will forget about it. They'll go right back to 9. We're going to see a lot of videos on it when it becomes a little more mainstream, but it's going to fade out. I mean, I already know people that want to do videos on it. You can hunt deer with a 223 5.56. You better place those shots well. Exactly. I totally agree with you. That's where I would rather hunt deer with a 308. Even an AR platform. Hey, what's up, Reloading? How are you, buddy? Reloading from the hot pot. What is your biggest caliber you have? Now, Floridian, are you meaning the largest, I guess in diameter, or I guess the most juice? Are you talking about what do I have the most of, as far as quantity? Just want to know if you're talking about the biggest caliber I have, because that's what your question is, or the most amount of ammo that I have. Because the largest caliber that I have personally, I mean, I have ammo for other stuff, but the heaviest, okay. I guess if you're talking heaviest, 45. I mean, because it's 230 grains versus 150 or 168 grain 308. So probably my heaviest caliber is a 45 that I have. It's 230 grains of hate. Yeah, I don't have like 338 Lapua and all that stuff. Will Alarm is 50 cal Beowulf. I mean, I actually do have some 50 cal rounds, but I don't own a 50 cal. I'm at 50 BMG is what I have. Okay, there you go. He's got a 50 BMG, 750 grains for me, 32-inch barrel to reach out. There you go. I just don't have any place to shoot a 50 BMG. I mean, I could shoot it in my indoor range or I could shoot it at an outdoor range, but not to get, you know, full distance on it. All right. I'll go ahead and show you one of these right now while we're talking about it. I did get one of my holsters in. I'll let y'all take a look at it, see what you think. This is set up for the Surefire X300. This is wrapped. And of course, I've got the Safariland on here. And you probably can't see it because it's kind of dark, but inside it's actually OD green. So it's an OD green shell. There you go. You can see it right there. It's OD green shell and it's wrapped with the camo fabric. I love the old school camo. You know, multi camo or the multi black and stuff like that. I have some of it, but for my battle belt and all that stuff, it's all old school camo. There's that right there. But this is a really nice rig. This is from QVO Tactical. I've got this on my battle belt. I've been doing dry fires from it. Really do like it. It is set up for my 2011s. So it'll fit all my 2011s with an X300 on it. So it'll fit the C2, the Staccato P, the MPA. So it will fit all of those and really do like it. The distance or the length of it is for the Staccato XL. So when I shoot my Staccato P with the comp actually stays in here. It doesn't stick out of the bottom. So this is set up for Staccato XL. So there's that holster. So I'll let y'all see that one. Like the camo pattern. No, this is, I don't really carry outside waistband unless I'm at the range. But this is set up for the battle belt. So, you know, for practicing, things like that, this is what I'll use. But no, I do carry appendix. So my carry guns are always appendix. Is there an aftermarket trigger for the Masada? I have not seen one. So I don't know, but I personally have not seen one. And I usually try to keep up with stuff like that. Hello, Scott. How are you, man? Hope you're doing well. Put an orange stripe on it and be perfect. I actually have an inside waistband holster that they did for me that's wrapped in this camo. And the inside shell is orange. So you've got the orange with the camo wrap on the outside. I've got videos and thumbnails of it. It's a nice holster too. I really like the wraps a lot. I haven't had any of them peel, and I've had them rubbing my belt for months and months and months and months. And you'll get a little bit of a rub mark, you know, just a little mark on there. But I've never had it fray or start coming apart. Let's see here. I haven't seen orange camo. I mean, I've had some guns done in orange camo that I came up with, but I'll show you this one. I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag and see what you think. Picked up a Streamlight TLR1 HL. Yeah, those are great lights, man. I've got 4 or 5 of the Streamlight HLs. I really do like them a lot. They're great lights. Yes, they're all good. So thank you for asking. Yeah, my parents are all good. I don't know what this is. I think this is some crap. Hang on one second. I got to block somebody. Let's see here. No, this is a QVO Tactical. Outside waistband, I have some Harry's outside. He just doesn't have any light bearing yet, and this is set up for the X300. So let's see here. Um, hmm. They don't. I didn't know that they didn't make Rock Island grips. Huh. Okay. I did not know that they did not make those. And I'll go ahead and show you this one. Now I'll just show you this. Okay. Here you go, Bald. You ready? This one is a tier 1 concealed, and it is a MSP. The thing about this holster, if you haven't seen it, is anything with the light. So this one is set up for the X300. You can see it right here. They make them for the X300. They make them for the the Streamlight TLR1, and they make them for the Modlite 350 PL. So anything that will take this light, you can put any gun in here. So if you can attach the light to it, the light actually holds it, and you can run 1911s. In this same holster, I can put my P10F. I can put whatever gun that I can put an X300 on. So here's this one. There will be a story on this one. It's got shock cord over here on this side, so I did the orange and orange with the black clips. I've tried it, and I'll just kind of leave that right there. So there's that. And yes, this one is outside waistband for my battle belt. This one is appendix. Now, I guess you can move this wherever you want, maybe, but I carried it appendix. So no, it doesn't come in maroon. No maroon in this house. Let's see what Scott has. The Ultra Rock is 2011, not a standard grip. It has a little piece that comes off the back near the grip safety that are original. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you have grips that will actually come off, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a 2011, but I thought it said 1911. But yes, if it's a 2011 that doesn't have grip panels, then yeah, they don't make it. Chris Davis is saying, "Hey, Big J, any experience with DSC Gunworks 2011 complete builds or their V8 porting on 2011s?" No, Chris, I don't have any experience with them. Sorry, I do not. Do not. No likey. Pistol Pete says that was a quick review. Yeah, it does come with the plastic clips. You can upgrade to um, the god dang, what are they called? The discrete carry concept clips from them. But I actually have a lot of discrete carry concept clips. So this was just for testing purposes. If I were going to carry this, I would change these instantly to the discrete carry concept clips, steel clips. I would not carry these clips. I will not carry plastic clips. I don't like them. But I do have a lot of the discrete carry concept clips. See you later, Uncle Dan. Have a good one, man. All right. So those are the two holsters that I've been playing around with. Do y'all have any questions? Anything y'all can think of? Any other guns y'all are excited about? Pistols or anything? Tonight I'm having a little vodka and Texas vodka and some Diet 7 Up. It's pretty refreshing. Let's see here. Big J, I'm from El Paso and I'm thinking of buying the Staccato C2, but also think about the summer heat. Do you carry your C2 in the summer or you go down to something smaller? No, I've been carrying my C2 now for 9 months straight, all through the summer. No issues with it. It's not heavy. The C2 is made out of alloy. It's not heavy at all. Um, and I mean, I guess maybe you're thinking that it's big. I don't think that it's a big gun at all. Matter of fact, I've put my Glock 19X pretty much right against it. Now the 19X has a little longer grip, pretty close to the C2, but no, the width is about the same. I mean, it's very comparable, and I don't carry small guns, Juan, so I really don't carry anything smaller than a compact. So, but I mean, I'm 6'3", I'm a big guy, so I don't really worry about, any of that. And as far as heat, I mean, hell, I've sweat with my, you know, P10C. I've sweat with my Staccato. I've actually carried my Staccato P with the comp, and it is 5.2 inches long altogether. I've already carried it on. Um, so um, but no, I enjoy carrying big guns. Scott prefers steel clips on holsters. Reloading from the hot pod, ordered a Max Michel P320X. Thoughts on it? Yes, I've actually shot that. I shot Humble Marksman's. It's actually a nice gun. I mean, shot well. It to me, it kind of shot like a regular SIG P320. It does not have any sights on it, so you just have your optic, which is fine. And I did shoot it with Max Michel's optic on it, or his size optic. Shot good. I'm not a huge fan of SIG triggers, the P320 triggers, and it has the upgraded trigger in it. But I mean, it shot good. I actually had really good hits with it. I was shot it at 25 yards, 15 yards, and I think 10 yards. And I was knocking down steel plates and everything with it. I mean, it's a nice gun. So I think you'll like it. It has some, the difference is it has no front or rear sights. They're not even milled for them. It has kind of like, some serrations around the top so you can grab it and rack it from the front. It supposedly has a better trigger. The grip feels a little different, but I mean, it's just his model that he uses. Thanks for your info, and I appreciate all the thanks for all your educational information and your reviews. Hey, thank you very much, Juan. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I've had in El Paso, I've had Fire for Effect do a bunch of my guns. They're right there in El Paso. I've actually driven them down, dropped them off, and they do great work there too. Run into any more crazies lately at the store? No, I was in Houston. I told you about that deal. I got the convenience store. Um, Monday, there was a guy or a lady yelling at a guy for not wearing his mask, but it wasn't yelling at me. She was just yelling at him. I didn't have a mask on either, but apparently she was yelling at him, saying he should be wearing a mask. But, I mean, there's crazies everywhere. Running a 223 Wild, yeah, those are great barrels. I really like them. Shot the AXG and loved it. Yeah, I shot the AXG also. It's a nice gun. I just don't like the SIG triggers. Even on the Legion, I don't care for it. The stock one, and even on mine, I had the Apex one, and it made it better, but it still didn't make it like I wanted it. It had a a lot of over travel, a lot of creep in it, even with the Apex. And now it was much, much better than the stock Legion trigger. But, you know, it's, I mean, well, and here's where I'll go with this. When you shoot 2011s or even 1911s and you get used to that single action trigger, it's really, really hard to find a great striker fire trigger. However, I will say this. The CZ P10C, the P10F, I think those triggers blow the SIG trigger out of the water as far as a striker fire trigger. You know, I'm not saying like you could put the gray guns in it. I know that makes it a little better. And I think there's some other triggers too that I'm not familiar with. And I'm not hating on SIG. Don't take that wrong. It's just, man, I wish they could just clean up that trigger and just make it super, super crisp and super, super short. And I know there's some stuff you can do to them, but out of the box, even if you get the high end ones, they just feel kind of trashy. I mean, to me. But again, when you get used to 1911, 2011 triggers, that's a whole different ballgame. Let's see here. Big Johnson Guns and Gear. Does staccato bother you when sitting down, driving? 365 XL is about the limit for me appendix unless I get rid of my love handle. Bald, I have love handles too, man. I'll tell you this. I've been carrying appendix for, now I will say this. Of course, when I was really slim, way back in the day, it was a lot better. However, I'm definitely heavy. I will say I got the tactical chubbiness going on, put it that way. Especially since all this other crap, I've gained weight. I actually lost weight with COVID, and I think I've gained it all back. So we're going to be cracking down on that diet. But appendix, and y'all know I do a ton of driving. I drive from state. I drive all over the damn place. So I'm in the, sometimes I'm in the truck for, hell, I've been in the truck for 7 hours, 8 hours straight if I'm driving like to El Paso and stuff like that. Or 9 hours, hell, 9.5 hours. It's when you find the spot, like for me, it's not right at the zipper. Okay. It's a little bit to the right off the zipper. So if you want to say like 1205, or whatever, that's kind of where it is. And if I don't have it there, I'm like, something's missing. If I do have it there, that's just the spot. And the length, I'll tell you, Bald, what actually helps is if you have a longer length gun. 365 XL is not very long. So even for the C2 holster, I will run a P holster. So the C2 is kind of shorter. It's a short barrel. But if you get the P, even for the C2, that longer length and holster actually helps counter the teeter-tottering, and it actually helps with the comfort so you don't have hot spots. And I've talked about hot spots before, but it's just something that you get used to, and then years and years and years of doing it, it's just kind of becomes second nature. I mean, my body probably has a notch there because I've been carrying so damn long. Ruthless. Are you going to be getting the new Hollow Sun weapon mounted light and the Cloud Defense when they're released? Ruthless, I actually have 2 of the Cloud Defense Rains currently. I love the lights. I will admit, they're heavy. The new Cloud Defense Rain 2, it has a smaller head on it. It's aluminum versus the steel, so it's definitely going to be lighter. Really interested in that. However, I love my Rains. So when you're getting, weapon lights, I would highly, highly, highly recommend Cloud Defense. They're freaking awesome. Their wiring control is really nice, and their cable management is really nice. So you don't have all these wires hanging everywhere. I really, really like them. Super bright. I mean, they're just great lights. But no, I'm not going to get the Hollow Sun. I don't really care anything about that one. Not saying it's going to be bad. I'm not interested in that. Thoughts on Lehigh Defense and Underwood ammo? I've shot some Lehigh Defense. It's okay. Underwood ammo to me is better. I I do like Underwood ammo. I've shot it. Back, and I've told these stories before, back before people started buying them at our butcher that I've known, hell, since I was in, shit, I think I've known him since I was in high school. He used to give me pig heads because nobody would buy them or eat them. So he would just give me the pig heads and then he would freeze them. And then we would take them out. This is way before I was ever in YouTube. We'd take them out to the outdoor range and we'd set them up on stands and we would shoot the frozen pig heads to test just for our own defensive ammo. And Underwood ammo was no joke. So, I mean, it's really good ammo. Um, but I always carry HST personally, just because I kind of, with Underwood plus P, it was better. I mean, it was more devastating, but regular Underwood with HST, they were about the same results. And I've really had great consistency with the HST. So that's just what I've always carried. Not saying it's the best in the world, but it works for me. CeeLo picked up a Legion 226 SAO and loving it. Yeah, I was just talking about one of those last week. With the Legions, the SAO is my favorite Legion. So congratulations, man. I think 223556 is boring to you. Yeah, maybe it doesn't like me. Sorry, let me catch back up here. Hey, what's up, Keith Gregory? How are you, man? P10C has an amazing trigger, probably the best stock striker fired trigger I've ever played with. I agree with that. I really do like it a lot. I mean, as far as my plastic Wonder Guns out of the box stock, it is probably one of the best ones. With all your knowledge and experience, you should volunteer at the range, much like KS works at his. Believe it or not, I actually have. I mean, I've at Texas Gun Experience, I've been up there quite a bit shooting, let other people shoot my guns, actually help people shoot guns. I never claimed to be a trainer or any of that kind of stuff, but I enjoy helping people. I'll watch them. I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything because I'm not, but I'll watch, if they're grip, if they're teacupping it or doing something weird, I'll show them some different things. I've actually worked with the owner's wife or one of the owner's wife, helped her and things like that. I just enjoy helping people. So I've done that before on Saturdays and stuff when I'm up there. But again, not a trainer, don't claim to be a trainer. So I'm not anybody special. Armorcraft Trigger takes care of pre-travel and over-travel. There's also Sig Armor, and he does an amazing job tuning stock triggers. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm sure you can make any trigger better. I mean, there's even some 1911, 2011s that come out with, not so great triggers. And you can tune those and things like that. So, it's always good if you can change it up to make it the way you want it to be. So that's never a bad thing. I wanted to ask this question because somebody asked me, and I thought this was kind of an interesting. I don't have it written down. I actually just thought of it. How many people here play video games? Just curious. Not a hater either way. Just curious. How many people play video games? Like maybe, what are I don't even know all the names to them, but like the Warcraft and all that kind of stuff, the shoot 'em up game. Just curious if anybody plays them. Hey, what's up, 7.5 FK? How are you doing, man? Anybody do the video game thing? Let's see. Guy Comment does WGT golf. Scott does first person shooters mostly. Yeah, I play games for Americana. Eyes are not good enough for video games. No time for gaming. No video games. Nope. But I see a cool shooting game. Call of Duty. I'm old now. Only Call of Duty. No gaming. Quit many years ago. I play Asteroids. Guilty. Yeah, I mean, I don't play any video games. I haven't played video games in shit 100. Oh, I'm being an asshole, but it's probably shit. I don't even think I played a video game in 15 years or so, maybe 20 years. Back when I was younger, I did Asteroids, Galaga. I'm showing my age now. Um, those kind of games, but I hadn't played video games in forever. Let's see here. Ruthless. What are your go-to rifle manufacturers? BCM, KAC, Radian, LWRC, Daniel Defense, Geisley. I really like BCM a lot. I've got some BCMs. Lancer. I like Lancer. Trying to think of. POF. I like theirs. I did have a problem with the 308 Rogue. However, it was a BCG gas. The gas port let loose. The bolts sheared or didn't shear. It stripped out. So the gas port let loose, but they replaced it. No problems, no questions. Since then, it's been great. So I really like POF a lot. And Lancer, BCM. I don't really have, and I've shot Daniel Defense. I don't know. Daniel Defense doesn't really do anything for me. LWRC or LWRCs are pretty cool. I think I don't have one, but I played with one, the Sons of Liberty. That's really nice, and they're a Texas company. So, those would probably be my recommendations, but there's so many out there that I haven't tried. So, solitaire on your phone, okay. I play shooters and strategy games. Bought my ACOG for the 300 Blackout. Cool. Yeah, I'm really loving. I talked about it last week. I'm really loving the Primary Arms ACOG type. I've got their 2x prism scopes, and believe it or not, they're actually made in the same facility, and they're great. I really, really do like them. A VR Reloading's doing a VR competition shooting game. Going to do a video on it. Cool. And the reason I asked that is I've had a lot of video game companies reach out to me and want me to advertise, and some were like, "We'll pay you." We'll pay you. Some of them are offering like $400 for a paid video or a paid. I guess they would pay me $400 plus to do videos on their video games, but I'm not a video game player, and I mean, yeah, they'd pay me $400 or $500, but it's not truly who I am. So it would be false advertising in my eyes. And I don't think that I would become a gamer to try their game, to advertise their game. So it's just not me. But I've had a lot of offers. I think there's other YouTubers that are doing video reviews. You'll see them on like Angry Cops and stuff like that. But it's just not me. So yeah, Asteroids. Hell, I remember Pong. I'm going to really show my age. I remember playing Pong. You had your little bing, you'd hit the ball back and forth. It's kind of like tennis, but it's called Pong. So I'm really going to show my age. Yeah, QVO. Roger makes really good stuff. I've liked all of his holsters. Yeah, I've been to the Sons of Liberty. When I went down there, they were closed for COVID, so I couldn't go in. But yeah, I mean, they seem like really, really good guys. Come to Alaska, make a few videos. I've never been to Alaska. Never been there. Hey, what's up, X-Ring? Daniel Defense makes some of the best combat-proven ARs on the market, solid platforms. Yeah, and X-Ring would know. Scott has the new Primary Arms one-time micro optic. It's really nice. Yeah, and I've got the one-time Gemini. I'm going to be putting it on that 9mm PCC. Yeah, I remember back when I was a kid, the arcades, man, they'd be packed and you'd have a pocket full of quarters, man. Parents would drop you off and you'd be playing video games freaking hours. Yeah, actually, Pistol Pete, the Remington, where you said Remington paid out $70 million, that could be bad. Remington did not. There is an update. It was their insurance company that paid it. So Remington themselves did not pay it. It was their insurance company. And if you know anything about any kind of insurance companies, they will settle all kinds of shit just so people will shut up. So it was not the corporation, it was their insurance company. So that has been redacted. But yeah, I agree. Because if that's the case, are you going to sue all of the original equipment manufacturers, Chevy, Ford, Dodge, Nissan, Toyota? Are you going to sue them all for car crashes? When you get in a car wreck, you're going to sue the manufacturer? Yeah. You just couldn't do that. So I think that's pretty stupid. CAC is also top notch. That question's answer really depends on the application. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. It depends on what you're going to do with it. I mean, really for anything. And budget. I mean, there's a lot of variables there too. Yeah, we're showing our age with Pong, man. Pat Mac really going back. Oh, Pac Man. Yeah, I remember the Pac Man. Yeah, I appreciate you, Chris. Thanks for watching. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen? We will shut this down if there's no other questions. But yeah, I'm going to be trying this one out a little more. Um, I've only put it on, walked around the house. That's why it still has the plastic clips on it. I wouldn't carry it this way, but I did put the gun on it while I was in the house. Just kind of testing it out. So I'll be doing some more testing on that before I actually do a full review. I've been dry firing with this one. Really do like it a lot. So far, it's been working great. So I think this one is definitely going to be a go. But the other one we're going to have to talk about. So, but I appreciate y'all. If y'all think of any other questions that you wanted to ask, drop them down below. I'll be glad to answer them after the chat to get you the answer that you need. But I appreciate y'all as always. And remember, an unarmed nation's a very weak nation. So we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Y'all take care. Be safe. Love one another.